On behalf of the Sable Point Lighthouse Keepers, we want to welcome you to the Big Sable Point Lighthouse. The mission of SPLCA is to preserve, promote, and educate the public, and to make our lighthouses accessible to all. As you visit the light station, it is our hope that you will get a sense of the wonderful history of this magnificent structure. For nearly 100 years, people lived here. Lighthouse keepers built buildings, raised children, played games, made music, planted gardens, and gathered eggs from their chickens. Here, in the shadow of this 112-foot structure, weather shaped the work of family life in a desolate place. Guy Blake, a turn-of-the-century lighthouse keeper, wrote on March 4th, 1903, "Couldn't see anything of the lake. Nothing but ice and snow as far as the eye could reach." His journal gives us an inside look at the life under the light. It was an extraordinary life, living at the water's edge, keeping a light visible about 18 miles out into Lake Michigan, a land signal to travelers of magnificent but sometimes treacherous waters. In 1867, Big Sable Point Lighthouse was built to guide ships carrying goods from a booming commerce: lumber, coal, ore, salt, food grains, and even summer resort passengers. A Christmas ship carried trees to Chicago. This place became a beacon along the way, and this dwelling was home to more than 70 keepers and their families. The keeper's task was to keep the oil lamp burning and to clean the large, very special Fresnel lens. Since there was no road until 1933, all supplies were brought by boat or horse and buggy along the shore 9 miles from Ludington. With these supplies, Big Sable Point Lighthouse was well maintained. Soft, yellow Milwaukee bricks on sand dunes were difficult to see in the daytime. In the 1900s, the tower was encased in 18 metal cylinders. Cement was poured between the brick and steel. The steel bands were painted in a black and white design that made the lighthouse unique and easily identifiable from out on Lake Michigan. In 1913, a fog signal building, a brick oil house, barn, and a remodeling of the keeper's dwelling were completed. The keepers' caring and dedication are visible through the work of their hands. Time and innovation gradually changed life at the lighthouse. In 1924, telephones arrived. In 1933, the road was built. In 1948, plumbing was brought inside. In 1949, a generator replaced the oil lamp, and in 1953, the entire station was powered electrically through underground commercial lines. The keeper's hands lighting the oil lamp were no longer needed. In 1968, the last keepers left Big Sable Point Lighthouse, and from then on, the light has been changed regularly by the United States Coast Guard. The absence of constant hands at work led to the sad decline of the keeper's dwelling. Vandalism became the work of other hands. Erosion and high water in 1986 threatened the tower and other buildings. What was to become of Big Sable Point Lighthouse? Nature's vagaries, wind, waves, and sand made its mark along with vandalism and a work of absence and emptiness. In 1987, a group of caring citizens focused on the restoration of this significant landmark. In the spirit of Guy Blake, that early keeper, these new voices became keepers of a new dream and vision. The new association, now known as the Sable Point Lighthouse Keepers Association, facilitated the celebration on November 1st, 2017, of the 150th anniversary of the original lighting of the light. Today, the original third order Fresnel lens, removed from the tower in 1987, is now wonderfully displayed at the Port of Ludington Maritime Museum. It is showcased along with the original fourth order lens from the Ludington North Breakwater Lighthouse. The Sable Point Lighthouse Keepers Association is a non-profit 501c3 corporation. Caretakers of Big Sable and to 3 other Michigan iconic lighthouses which grace the eastern shores of Lake Michigan, south of the Big Sable Point Light. The Ludington North Breakwater Lighthouse, located on the pier in Ludington, the Little Sable Lighthouse, located in Silver Lake, and the White River Light Station and Museum, located in Whitehall, Michigan. It is our desire that after today's experience, you will also visit and experience the other lighthouses as well. Each one is unique and has a story to tell. Right now, you are invited to become a keeper, to walk the steps, to keep the light burning, to remember and support the lives and work that brought us here. The tower climbing fee, purchasing gifts in the gift shop, purchasing a customized walkway board, as well as your wonderful donations, make it possible for the Sable Point Lighthouse Keepers Association to meet its mission to preserve, promote, and educate the public, and to make our lighthouses accessible to all. Ask one of our over 400 volunteers how you can be involved and be a volunteer and active keeper of our lights.